Greetings. This is Giovanna, the spiritual love coach and host of the Spiritual Love Circle. So today is Friday, and Friday is usually our Forgiveness Friday, where we kind of talk a little bit about forgiveness. So I really wanted to come on live and share a little bit about some things that I have been just acknowledging and kind of going through myself personally. So a couple weeks or so ago, I started doing a healing session using essential oils, and that was the start of something very deep that I'm actually still processing. It was, I don't even know I knew what my intention was. My intention was to sit with some challenges that I had faced and get those things to surface. But what I found out was that there was something completely different that was underlying that situation. But I'm super glad to have started that process because it's helping me to go inward. And love is like my divine purpose. That is the dominant energy that flows through me, period. That's what it is. Like love, relationships, people, connecting, that is the heart of who I am. Funny thing is, hold on, let me see, because it's a little dark in here and I didn't want to turn lights on just yet. So one of the things that I'm always constantly doing is just checking myself. And I'm really hard on myself because I'm like, am I really embodying love? Am I as centered in who I am as I'm supposed to be, and all these different things? So as I'm doing this healing and forgiveness work, I keep forgetting myself in the process sometimes. A lot of different things came up from me being in an abusive relationship that I felt that I was healed and that I had forgiven. So I wasn't sure, why was I still, feeling a certain way. And so today I spent a lot of time being honest with myself about different things, and had to realize that there were some areas where I was not giving myself grace for the things that I have gone through to be where I am today. And that's what we say, like, we are our own worst critic. And if we're being so hard on ourselves, it doesn't give us the space to grow and to heal. So that's one of the things that I have acknowledged within myself today. And this morning, the daily Fool's Wisdom card, I'm going to see if I can share it in here real quick. Because, hold on, where is it? And it's funny because not too many people interacted with today's the Fool's Wisdom message of the day. And it was the truthful. And I thought that was very funny because usually I get some comments on, the post, the people like it. This one was the truthful. And I just wrote, people in the lies that they tell can destroy lives and cause unnecessary drama, but this message is needed. The inability to be truthful comes from fear and being disconnected from yourself. So first and foremost, in order to be honest, we have to start with honesty within ourselves. And that's where a lot of the healing takes place. It starts with honesty, because we have to know where there is hurt, where there's anger, where there's unforgiveness. And a lot of times people don't want to be aware of that. And that's why so many people are numbing themselves out with drugs, sex, shopping, the internet, YouTube, Netflix. There's so many different vices that we have, and sometimes we don't even realize that they're vices because they're positive. Somebody might go to the gym and work out. That's great. They're taking care of their body, but they're still not addressing the issues, the underlying issues. And that's where the honesty comes in. And if you're honest with yourself and you say, you know, I feel this pain, and the way that I'm going to release it is through, you know, I'm going to the gym and I'm going to work out, or I'm going to do yoga, and that's my release, then that's different. But if you're going to take your mind off of it completely, you're still not opening yourself to access what needs to be healed. So I've been through a lot of things in my life, a lot. I should probably not even be alive. I've had quite a few near-death experiences. And for some of the things that I've been through, I should not be this loving or this kind. And so even still, when, you know, I hear people give me positive feedback about, you know, oh, I'm so nice, or I'm so loving, and how I'm helping them, sometimes it's still hard to hear and hard to like really feel all the time, because I'm not acknowledging the grace that is required to truly process and forgive myself. So when I look back 10 years ago where I was, it was a hot ass mess. You know, I was in a place of hurt, dealing with a lot of things that a lot of people in my life don't even know about. And it's interesting because, you know, people will judge me based on what they see, not knowing the things that I've been through and how life shaped out to be this way. So it's just really interesting. And so I had to be honest with myself, right? I had to honor my own truth. And I sat with some painful things, and I was at work today, and I was just in this situation, this scene in my life, and I just started crying. And it felt so good because I finally just released some more. So I'm still doing energetic work and clearing work to bring out things that I feel are still holding me back, to why I don't feel as loving as people perceive me to be. And it's not always an easy thing. It requires a lot of self-awareness to really say, you know, just to really look at yourself objectively. Like, it requires a lot of self-awareness, and just asking spirit, like, what do I need? And so one of the things that came up for me today was to forgive myself, because I feel like I've forgiven my ex, who I was in a relationship with. I feel like I have forgiven him. The situation is a little complex, but I still feel that, you know, I have forgiven him, but I think there are parts of me that still need forgiving. Oh, hello, beautiful. Thank you for watching. That is, you know, there is growth in me and in those who are able to witness this. And it's good to just have a space, a safe space to come and share and hopefully help other people in the process. So thank you for that. I appreciate that, and I thank you for the hearts. So being able to see that, it's forgiveness starts with being honest, right? So you got to be honest with yourself about the places where you are not being so loving, right? And the things that still hurt, and then why they still hurt. And so part of the reason why forgiveness is a hard task, because whenever we have to forgive someone else, we also have to forgive ourselves, because we were a co-creator in that situation, whether it was good or bad. And that, I tell people, is one of the hardest truths that I ever had to swallow, was that being in an abusive relationship, I played a role in it. It didn't make it right. It didn't make it any better or easier. But for me to even start the healing process, I had to acknowledge the role that I played in the relationship. And that was staying. That was not necessarily protecting myself. That wasn't continuing to seek out resources or getting, you know, the knowledge, the help, or whatever the case may be. There were ways that I failed my own self. And so those are the parts of us that make forgiveness hard, when we can't see how am I trying to word that? When we can't see, number one, where the role that we played in a situation. And I see that a lot when women, or anyone, just saying how a relationship went south. It's always, well, they did this and they did that, and he didn't listen or she didn't listen, but we never can sit down objectively and say, oh wow, I played a role in this situation too, and here is how I contributed. Here are the ways that I didn't step up. And that's the hard part. And that's why a lot of relationships fail. We are in a very, and I feel like I'm getting off track, but we just gonna roll with it. We're in a very, very instant gratification type of society. Technology is amazing. It makes a lot of things instant that maybe should not be, but if used in the right way, it can foster relationships and build communications, and it can be used for the greater good of all. The problem is we have a lot of people using it just for whatever selfish reasons, and that just causes problems, and it makes communication hard, because if you don't want to talk to somebody, instead of trying to figure out what the issue is or getting clarification to have a true conversation where there is speaking and where there is true hearing, then you might just get on Instagram and slide up in somebody's DMs, or whatever the case may be. You have something to take your mind away from the issue. And because there are so many people who are hurt, and they are hurting because we're not forgiving, and we are holding on to trauma and to pain that does not belong to us, that it's there to help us to grow, not to hinder us. And that's the most beautiful part about the shit that I've gone through, is the realization that it was not there to hinder me, that all of the bad situations that I have faced where my spirit was awakening me to integrate these lessons, so that I can be the person that I am, and so that I can continue to grow, and so that when I see another sister who looks like she might need some help, then I can help her, because I've been there, and I can say me too. But guess what? It doesn't have to be you. I did it for all of us. So now I can spare you what I went through, because I'm going to give you the shortcut so you can avoid that. And that's really the place that I come from. And even as I'm sitting here speaking, and I'm getting a little teary-eyed, y'all, that water wisdom, that water warrior is like, go. But even as I sit here and I hear myself speak, I'm learning at the same time. It's like, okay, I'm hearing myself teach myself in the process. And that's why I love just coming on here and talking, because something always comes up that's like, oh, okay. I'm realizing through this season, work with mine, that I have studied, that I'm the righteous. Oh, yeah. See, we can do that too. And that's the thing, especially being in this work, a light work, and being a spiritual being. We can't come from that on high place. Like, I am evolved, I am spiritual, I am tapped in, I am aligned and balanced. So it's you need to raise your vibration. So yeah, we can definitely do that. And I noticed that with my ex. He was, I had to realize he was who he was. And it wasn't my job to try to elevate his vibrations, because he was pulling me all the way down. And as soon as I separated myself from him, he went where he needed to go, and I started rising right back up. So it's hard when we are aware and we can see things on a deeper level than other people, because it's like we know and they don't know, but we still have to give them that grace and be loving and be forgiving with them for where they are. And that is something that I'm even learning with my own self, because I was saying earlier, like, I'm my own worst critic, and I have this high standard of how I should conduct myself, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. And I can hear my higher self telling me, grace, love, and forgiveness. It's okay. I will. Zoom, my computer, and let me, this computer is going to get replaced very soon, but something happened and my audio got really distorted, and then Zoom just crashed and I couldn't get back in it. I was like, that's okay, because I'm going to catch the replay. So I did some tapping and some essential oil work, and then I just kind of been sitting and just absorbing, and it's been a very beautiful evening. I really look forward to these Friday forgiveness sessions because they are super helpful. So one of the activities that I'm going to be doing is writing a letter to my ex. Probably won't give it to him, but it is going to allow me just to say all the things that have not been said over the last 15 years. And anytime we have an issue, be it big, be it small, be it the person at the McDonald's just didn't say good morning, your coworker had an attitude, you stumped your toe, whatever it is, if you just write a letter to that person, write a letter to your toe. If you got a migraine, write a letter to your head, write a letter to your coworker, just write it down. Don't even think about it. Just whatever you want to say. If it's F you, I hate you, you smell funny, whatever it is, write it all down. Get it out of your body. And that is healing in itself. And you can burn it. I love to burn letters. That's like one of my favorite pastimes. Do not burn your house down, people. I am not telling you to set forest fires either. Please be safe and careful. But yeah, and I there's this space by my parents' house. It's like a dock right off of the river. And I went out there for my birthday last year. And I feel like that space has been calling me. Yes, burn them. Ooh, yes, at the crossroads. I usually take mine down by the river and then kind of scatter it and let the water wash it away. And I need to go to that space. I have not really been out in nature as much just because the weather and I have not been agreeing. But hopefully once it's consistently warm, I will definitely be spending more time outdoors and connecting with nature, because that's what my spirit really needs at this time. Down by the river. Yes. It's so soothing, just so soothing, that water. And I love, love, love water. So that is a right on time. But we have astrologically, Chiron is the healer, and he is out and about. So if you feel that there are things coming up for you in your own personal life, this is a really great time to tap in to the energy and do some healing work. We can talk about essential oils. Those are some of the things that I use: essential oils, meditation, aromatherapy, candles, just everything, a little bit of everything, just to heal and process. This is a very, very much needed thing, especially for me right now. And I'm excited because I'm ready to see what the transformation is going to be on the other side. Hi, Judith. Thank you for joining on. So we were just talking a little bit about forgiveness and how we kind of need to be honest with ourselves, and also allowing grace, forgiveness, and love for ourselves in the midst of healing, in the midst of transformation. And I'll share the card that I pulled this morning. And it was funny because it was the truthful, and it was telling people to be honest. And usually I get more comments and things on it, but I kind of expected, the truth hurts. So not too many people interacted with this this morning's message, which I thought was pretty funny. But Neith, you did like it. I was really interested to see like who was gonna like comment and interact, but it's always telling. So I'm going to sign off and do some healing and forgiveness work this lovely Friday evening. And I hope that you all have a beautiful and blissful weekend. If you haven't checked out Neith's group, the Light Warrior Sisterhood, she is doing My Warrior Speaks challenge, and it is phenomenal. So Neith, make sure you share your information here in the group, because I think a lot of people will be able to benefit. I know I have been loving it. It has really been right on time with the live sessions that I have caught. So I need to go back and get caught up. That is one of my goals for this weekend, is to really do this walk. Yes, sister, you are always welcome. And I think that's it, ladies. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening and enjoy this weekend. Mwah. Bye.